Let's step away from 3D and go back into plain 2D. Let's create a poster. And for this upcoming exercise to create now a presentation poster with your furniture project, I thought I will give you a quick demo in how I quickly created this poster here, which I sent out today to some news sites so they can actually talk about the lecture series I created. Specifically, when you're a new student, layouting seems to be very magical. Creating a good poster seems, a daunting task. However, to be honest, creating good posters is actually pretty easy. There are two things you should really try to consider. First, what's the poster for? You want to explain, obviously, something. In our exercise, we just want to create a nice poster that shows your experimental furniture project. So you want to talk about your furniture piece. That means you need a lot of images. So for example, here for my poster, I just started making images. I didn't really think about them a lot. I just made views and I rotated my camera, and you see also this these are all just screenshots at the moment. I just rendered it, and if I like the view, then I did it. And maybe I want to have some technical information as well to maybe put something in. Okay, so this is really step number one. You need really a lot of images. And then step number two is, well, we have to create now the layout. But I find very often you can make a grid and then try to force everything into that grid. Can work, but I find that sometimes to be more problematic. So what I rather do is I just create a document and then I dump everything into there, and then I try to play with the ideas maybe I get by rearranging all these images. To be honest, as I said in class, I feel I'm more a reactionist. I can't come up with an idea out of air or in my imagination. I need to see something, and then I see, hey, this relates, oh great, I can use a design principle, symmetry, contrast, blah blah blah, and then there it is. And as you can see, for the layout, it doesn't have to be complicated. Really step away from over designing stuff. Work with the images, work with text, work with a clean grid, and honestly, this is really most of what you need. Most times I see students adding a lot of extra stuff and cool effects, and I package all that into effect design. You do effect design where literally you have no idea what you're doing. So don't do it. Okay, so how did I do actually this poster? Let me create a new document and then I can show you how I started everything. So this is kind of like the format I have to work with. This is right now working in Pixelmator, but if you work with Photoshop, exactly the same way. Okay, so for example, I started with this image. So this is kind of like one of the first views I did. I made the rendering so that I look from the side and I have a light coming from the left, casting a nice highlight onto the side, putting some shadows to there. Okay, good. Well, let's put it to there. And then I started adding the other images. Actually, I worked on this one first. So maybe let's scale this one down a little bit to there. Okay, and let's maybe cut this area out. So I tried to see, well, maybe what happens if I make 50-50, so left side, right side. No, okay, maybe that could be okay. Then I have the small close-up here, which I created because I found this interesting. So maybe this one I just put down to there, so it belongs to that area. No, works. Just as something for your eyes to look at, I also have this part because I wanna show the three-dimensional wood material recreated. But maybe I have too much of unimportant stuff, so I remove everything that's really not necessary. See, I'm clipping this one a little bit so that maybe just here I can position it, maybe on the left side. Okay, so you see I work with a lot of symmetry, 50-50, big image, small image, and then I can see, does this make sense? Does this actually look good? Does it feel too forced? And right now this is kind of like blah, left and right, too much the same. Maybe I could flip this one so it's a little bit more uneven, maybe put it to there. This is more dynamic, but maybe this one gets a little bit too chaotic now. It's too noisy, too nervous. Okay, so these were maybe some good ideas, but not really as successful. Then let's say, well, I want to slice my areas. Maybe I can do it this way. This one I will bring back to maybe there. This is getting a little bit too tight. So let's see. Well, what happens if maybe I do it this way? This one I scale down. So you see, I'm trying to fill my areas nicely. Okay, this looks a little bit cleaner. And let's pop in the other images. And you see, I work very fast. I do not really try to be nice and clean because that can sometimes turn into you just getting lost in details. It's all about the process. Same like in 3D modeling or designing, you're evaluating things and you should spend appropriate time only when really necessary. And maybe I have this image here. Let's put this one down there, maybe like this. Okay, maybe I make this a little bit bigger because I started not liking white background, white, and then I have this black. Maybe I will do it simply this way. So 50% is a dark image, and then 50% are two images where, as you can see, it looks more on a brighter background. Maybe this one I want to flip horizontal. So maybe these two chairs are talking to each other. And you see now I can actually maybe line up the shadows if, for example, that could work. Or I could say, well, maybe I do it this way. Whoops, wrong one. There. That looks nice. There's a dialogue that's happening. Similar to what I have here inside this set where the chairs are actually kind of like organized and then the red one faces you. Okay. I also have some other stuff here, some texture materials. Well, maybe I will use actually this one to hide this black image because it's a little bit too strong and kind of sticks out. Maybe I do it this way. See, that looks a little bit nicer because the color here is very black. This is all bright, so it kind of bites each other. And if I go this way, this gray and there works better together. And yeah, but this one is definitely way too big. So I used a nice layout, image after image after image, but it doesn't really make any real sense, and it doesn't really look very good. So delete, restart. See, I only wasted a few minutes. Well, what happens if maybe we make one image there and then we take one image here, make this a little bit smaller there. Let's flip this one. We do the same, but maybe this time we only focus on these two images. Scale this one a tick. Okay. Now could, for example, be interesting, but maybe this way actually will be nicer. Whoops, same mistake again. and again. Forgot to click this one. There. This one we can bring over a little bit and cut more away from this part. Okay. Maybe try to line up the shadows a little bit, if possible. And there, let's center this one. We might have to bring this one over more and cut off more so it's an even distance. Yeah, I mean that's maybe not too bad. Now we have something here in the center. We could put something in there. Let's see. Hello there. Scale. Boom. Ding. There. And it was a cool idea, but it looks like junk, so it's gone. So maybe now you see I have a nice uniform background. I know I have this transition here for those who want to know it. Photoshop or Pixelmator or whatever, it's all the same. We can work with a mask. So add mask, and then in this mask, with you see it's white. That means it's transparent. You see, and black. No, white is opaque and black will be transparent. You see, it's reminding you a little bit of what we're doing in Blender with blending with colors. We can paint a nice stroke and then black and then to gray to white. It becomes from transparent more opaque. So now these can be maybe overlaid a little bit. So it's a nicer transition. Okay. So, and then basically you can try to see. Now here I tried to match the background so it fits, but it's not really looking very rich because there's just not enough inside my area. So maybe I scale everything down. Maybe I will try to put this one in. There we have a third image. There. Put this one down. Okay, maybe a little bit to there. Then all those I scale back a little bit. I will join them for the moment or merge them so I can clip the bottom area. And maybe there now in the background I have something I could include, this stuff. Yeah, that for example doesn't look too bad. It's very simplistic, 2/3, 1/3, 1, 2, 3. There's one. Also I use cropping nicely to just generate excitement. So this actually, for example, could work as well. And in my case, I simply settle for something like this because those were the two most radical shapes, like a normal chair and then kind of like this rather organic bent and generatively created bench with a small view through there, and then in this corner you see I put in this stuff. And then also let's talk a little bit about text. So let's move this one. No, I will just keep it there. The way how I came up with this, those were really decisions that evolved when I started doing this. So I needed to give this a text, and let's go really bad. Let's use Arial. Where is it? Where is Arial? Arial. There. Good. So intro furniture design. Whoops. Okay. So what do we see here? Again, you know, I said I'm more like a person that reacts to things. Hey, my text in this case perfectly fits in this bracket. Now where can I put this one to so it gets a lot of readability and doesn't distract too much? Obviously there it's not really usable. Also we could put it to there, but then we can't really read it. So because of color contrast, everything you should have learned in 2D Foundation, the black text on a brighter background can read pretty good. However, this looks like typed and done. There's so much more we can do it. So when, for example, I move this one up, I could say, well, maybe this one I make maybe white. So we can still see it. And the contrast or the focus is now on furniture design. But this furniture design feels like blup, pushed over the chair. And also the font, maybe we can mix something. So maybe I will select here just a serif. The first one that comes to my mind is actually Times. There. Okay, that's a nice mix. And maybe I will go with the italic cut. Yuck, what's happening there? Ah, shoot, I should have adjusted the kerning. The U needs to get further to the left because you see this doesn't read like furniture. This reads like furniture. Easiest way also to double check this. There you can see even more how the F actually stands out. So, nah, but it's fine. Let's keep it this way. But I don't really like that just the U lines up with the piece in the background. So maybe I move this one over a little bit to see, could this work? What about intro? We maybe make 40, so it's a little bit bigger, and I could try to balance intro between the left and the right edge. And maybe here furniture design I bring back there. Okay. What about maybe 2 lines? Okay, 1 line there, 2nd line there, intro into furniture design. Maybe move these parts up. Try to see how could I align my elements nicely with something in the backdrop. Well, sorry, background. Doesn't make any sense. So, for example, I see here intro doesn't work very well. Why don't we rotate it? Intro to furniture design. That could be interesting as well. And so forth. And you see, that's then the way how you can explore something. So really, don't overthink. Don't force your design. Be very playful. Easiest way, this sounds kind of funny, but the easiest way to come up with nice ideas is to turn off your brain. If there is a button, push it. You can later always turn it back on. And just be silly, move stuff around, see how elements relate. And you see sooner or later then you find something that lines up, that makes sense, and then there the design actually feels justified, and then you go with it. Okay, and that's basically how actually within 3-4 minutes I came up with this quick poster. This is not the best poster, of course. I only wanted to make a quick snapshot for the 2 websites, but this definitely looks a lot nicer than anything else. Actually, also because of the color and the design and also how the chair, for example, is moved a little bit to the right side. This looks even really nice, like a nice finished piece. And even then there now, because maybe I'm forcing too much into that other area, I could see maybe, well, what happens if no? Oh, this looks cool as well, actually. So being a little bit mysterious. Wow, see, nice and clean. Bang, that works as well. See, I didn't see that, or I wasn't able to experience that by just only focusing on this one thing there. And maybe here we make a small array of all these images, one there. So maybe I still want to, whoa, not upside down. Bring in some more at the bottom. And another one. Ha! This is also pretty cool. Can kind of hide this intro in there. intro to furniture design here. Oh, fantastic. This is really cool. Let's maybe put this to there so that the intro reads nicely. But what I wanted is move this one down to there. I really hope you see that I'm just, when I say turn off your brain, just be playful, I'm not kidding. This really works very good. There, so now we create a small comic strip at the bottom, and we could continue this, maybe all those, little bit of cropping. We just only hide some, and there's some other stuff. And here, let's put this one maybe in. Whoops, there. Okay. Good. Let's maybe keep it this way. And screenshots. Screenshot of maybe one idea. All this, delete, screenshot. So maybe bring this one in. Now we do the same there. Screenshot. I also had this one here. Now this looks pretty cool. Or maybe there. Ooh, this is also nice. Maybe to there. Trying to see how could we line this up. Bring this to there. Screenshot. So I want to scale this one. Or this is also nice. Screenshot. Maybe bring this one to there. Scale this one down. So now you see, I make this actually the focus. And screenshot. Delete this one, bring this one to there, and screenshot. So then you just continue, and the main reason why I did all this screenshot craziness is then you can quickly take a look at some ideas. What works, what doesn't work, what looks pretty cool. And then comes the most dreading task. You have to pick one and make a decision. Because this way we can easily explore ideas, but then you have to finalize and make a decision on one you want to use and then apply that to everything and be consistent. And that's basically it.